So I low-key recorded a Wixo video, but I didn't have my mic plugged in this entire time. So, yeah, let me just summarize. Basically, this guy, first country in Thailand. And then people who want to farm break away over here. Then basically, the Thais over here really like expansion, and they expanded into all of this land before they collapsed. The country of Malacca is basically their puppet. Well, they were their puppet, but not anymore. And then we had like dark red team with all of these micronations, and then they collapsed because there was like nobody living here. And we also have Vietnam, which is an ally of this country right here. I don't know what else to summarize, but I'm probably gonna do episode 2 in this video. Just like, it's gonna be episode 1 and 2 technically. Anyways, let's get to it. Also, don't mind the bad borders, this is feudalism, so you have to deal with it. I'll fix this right here though, cause it's pissing me off. We're gonna start with the expansion of Vietnam here, and also the major exploration, which has been focused on this area for quite some time now, between the two Vietnamese countries, one in the north and one in the south. Vietnam will be primarily expanding down here because they want to reach their ally, and it's probably a good choice before they get jumped, if they get jumped, not hinting at anything. And now we have the southern Vietnamese start to make their journey up, and they actually meet up. So yeah, I can do this right. Now we're going to have a little bit of a tiny exploration group with mainly people from these two countries, and actually this country for some reason. So those 3 countries are going to be traversing the land over here, seeing what they can find and while living off the land. Their main goal is to find some mountains or something for some reason, and looks like they're going the wrong way because the mountains are up and not down. But they decide they might as well just settle here, as they have nowhere else to settle, and most other people are gonna die if they don't settle, like right here, right now. So now we have Bangladesh, and they're primarily going to be in this area, but also they're gonna have a little bit of an enclave over here. Oh. Okay, anyways, ignore that. So let's look into something else. We're going to see a lot of expansion over here, which you're going to see some ugly borders, but you just got to deal with it. So this is explored. Here are the expansions, and here's how the countries look. Yeah, I'm sorry for the border gore, you're just going to have to deal with it. Also, these are the cities. I'm probably going to add capitals. And we're going to use size 8 because I feel like it. Capital right there, and I'll just do the other ones. Also, for the little nations that don't have cities, will not be getting capitals. Malacca will now be sending their entire force of people. They just have a huge a population now. If we look at their cities, they have a lot of people who can provide them with a lot of immense resources, a lot of scarce resources, a lot of good resources. They're trying to expand into these newly explored lands. Now the people of Malacca will start to move up here to the northern part of the island of Sumatra and fully explore it. However, they aren't able to colonize it yet, as they kind of need more, they need more resources. Well, actually, they will be able to expand in all of this land right here without many issues, as this is very resource rich, and they actually find a few drugs. That's gonna hint at something for the future. Also, Vietnam will be just taking this country right here. Now we're gonna have the Bengali country just start to expand more to the areas they have explored, mainly on the coast, as that's where they have explored the most. And there will also be a little bit of exploration over here that has been done by by the pink team in Thailand. So the people in the Bengali Sultanate or something, yeah, they're happy. So these guys left the main country because they were expanding too much. But they're gonna contradict that by expanding a lot. So they annex all of this land and start to make more feudalist states in their country. The main country will try to colonize these islands. And they do take these 4 before actually they get kicked out by the natives somehow. Because the natives actually seem to be super strong. And they start to they think these guys are superhumans. They're incredibly strong. They can't fight back against them. And they actually are superhumans. So they will be setting up a country on these islands. Probably not to be expanding. The fact that these guys have contradicted themselves is actually going to cause another war between these two. The citizens of the main Thai country are going to say, like, if you're going to leave and do what we did, why can't you just be a part of our country? There's no reason to not be. So they send their forces into the pink country, and they quickly overwhelm the capital by taking it with immense ease. Then they start to invade these 2 puppet states, which goes extremely well, as they both fall over. Then they start to move the troops over here, and I'll just assume that the vassals over here are captured. I just don't want to remove them because they're going to be annexed. But the main country is completely lost, and they decide to peace out before their new land gets taken with all of their settlers over here. But they will lose this puppet and also some extra land with the puppet. This is the peace treaty they come up with, and their capital is forced to just, I don't know, it's just not there anymore. Now they are the strongest country again. They're just falling off in economics due to these guys just being overly rich. Now we see some people venture from South Vietnam all the way over to Henan, and they manage to explore the entire island and start to colonize the south, but they want to keep some for their allies so they can, stay allied. But for their main goal, they want to explore east because they think there's a huge landmass that would provide great wealth and great everything. That's a big rumor, and there is a landmass, but I don't know if they're rich. They probably are. I don't know if the Philippines is rich, but they send their navy, if they even have a navy that's good enough, and it manages to end up in the Philippines in the northern island. They find the people who settle this are happy. They're ecstatic, actually, because they think they've done their country a great deed, and they basically have. But they actually discover that there were already countries here and tribes, and I'm gonna draw them in. Don't worry. But on this island, there are a few tribes. So there are 4 tribes here, 1 in the north of the island, and then 3 in the south. Still, the South Vietnamese will set up a little colony here, as this is what they were looking for. The settlers are still happy that they have found land for their country to grow and just get stronger overall. Now, we're going to have the dark red team, which hasn't really done anything, start to explore with the main Vietnamese country, as they are getting slightly richer due to the fact that they have more people. Cause compared to like the last time before I lost the audio to the video, the first episode, they like each one of these countries had like 2 families in them, and now they have a full functioning city. These 3 at least. So with their newfound wealth and their also increase in population, they will be expanding to the north quite a bit. This will trigger the orange team to do the same, as they don't want to fall behind. And the blue team here is actually going to be buying a little bit of land. They're not buying. They're invading, kind of. They bought it from the orange team and invaded this country. And then they're also going to buy a tiny little bit of land from these guys, so they can probably make a country. For the Vietnamese team, they will be taking the rest of Henan, as that's what their ally wants them to do, and they're gonna listen because they're good little boys, aren't they? Now, I feel like I have to do this multiple times so we can explore the world, but from all of the major countries over here, well, all of the countries over here, there's gonna be a group of about 25 to 35,000 people traversing the southern Chinese coast to find a new home, as they are planning to make a country that is far away. They have different religious beliefs, and they can actually focus on themselves. These guys do actually have some boats, so that's why, they're like split into like half and half. So 17, they're trying to fit like 10,000 on here on their boats, so they can explore the ocean, and then they're also trying to use the rest of the 25,000 to explore and land, and it's actually a very, very good strategy. They actually managed to find a little bit of Taiwan in the north. Don't mind the Vietnamese color, that's just there. But they explore the northern but they just explore the entirety of Taiwan. They won't set up in Taiwan though, because that's not their goal. Taiwan is too small for their goals. So, firstly, they're going to explore this area more and more until they can reach this river, which they fully explore. And then they start to set up camp. Half of them start to set up camp. These are the land people who want to set up camp here, as they think this is far away enough, when in reality it's not that far. And we have Song China now. So, we're just gonna call them Song, I guess. These guys are part of this river. They base their nation off of this river. Their religious beliefs, everything is based off of this river for them. For the rest of the people, they actually, like the rest of the boat people, they land up in Jeju, and then on the island of Tsushima, which they actually start to land in Korea, southern Korea, and then they land in Kyushu, probably Kyushu, I think, and then Honshu over here. So, there's gonna be a lot of countries here. Some of them are gonna split away. They're all gonna be on different islands. The main country is going to be set up here in Kyushu and the southern part of Honshu, as they feel like it's necessary to start up in a place where they have a lot of land, and they think there's going to be a lot of land here. Then we have a nation in the island of Tsushima. I guess Jin Sakai is leading that, so yeah. Now we have the nation of Jeju. Also, we're going to have the nation of Sumatra come into existence down here in the western coast of Sumatra. And they're actually going to start to be pretty big. They're supported by Malacca, as Malacca doesn't see a purpose for any more land here. And we're actually going to have some people from Song China set up a nation here in Taiwan. these were the leftover settlers, and they're just gonna take over the coastal areas of Taiwan. Now, down to the mainland, we're going to have the Aqua Team go beyond their limits and expand into all of this land, which is a huge mistake. We're also going to have this Green Team expand into a lot of land, which is another very huge mistake. And then we're also going to have these guys, the Burmans, now. They're going to expand. And this actually won't be too much of a mistake, as there's no one here, so their people really don't care. And also we're just going to have a small little expansions by the main country. And then we're going to look into the two mistakes that the Green and Cyan teams made. Also, just so your eyes hurt, so let's look into the mistakes. So we have a full-on revolution in this country, and we just have 3 areas in the Aqua Team that unanimously rebel, and they're also going to be invaded. I wonder who's going to invade them. The country that they rebelled from in the first place is invading them. They finally have like a refined military to do this, so, well, actually it was shown earlier, but with their newfound military competence, they will be easily dominating this country with barely any rebellion. I mean, with very little area for stopping the chances. I don't know. So they kind of die. Anyways, peace treaty. So they take all of this land here, and then they decide to puppet these 2 areas for now. They also will be puppeting. Actually, yeah, they're gonna puppet this. Anyways, that'll probably do it. Actually, no, I'll do one more thing. Actually, 2 more things, cause boom. And yeah, Pink Team land. They getting all the resources and the land, so they very happy. But that'll basically do it for this video. So thanks for watching. Goodbye.